Eberechi essay to Arsenal. 1-0 plus.
Thank God. If you're a
it's been
fan,
a long time waiting.
well, if you're a fan, it's a sigh of relief. I mean, he's one of those guys that pretty much anybody wants him, right? Like
Yeah.
anybody would take him, but everybody kind of also quietly let the release clause run out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they figured they could possibly negotiate for a different deal, and it's what happened, and it's ultimately where he wanted to go. I thought it was a very Spursy thing that they were talking to him for weeks and weeks, and he's interested, and then Arsenal actually finally makes their offer for him, and within 10 hours he commits.
That's true, and he is gonna be wearing the number 10.
Yep.
So if you don't know a little bit about 10, which has been a little bit taboo now or just kind of thrown around, but it used to be prestige because 10s were usually they were usually viewed as being creative players.
Yeah.
You know, the likes of the Ronaldinos and whatnot. But I think that for him to get that 10 says a lot about what he will be bringing in that team in terms of how would you approach a low block? Because that's been Arsenal's problem when the defense is set.
Right. Yep.
It's difficult for them to penetrate the defense. So you need creative players. So you bring in now Easy and having Gyokeres. And you guys didn't see the game Arsenal versus Leeds, and everybody was already dogging Gyokeres out. He hasn't done this. Let's not forget he scored 20. He scored in 20 games last year. So he's still getting adapted to the Premier League because
it's his second game.
Yes, it's
in the
second
Premier League
game.
as well. So yeah.
But if you think about that combination with Eze and Gyokeres, and if you've seen that Gyokeres goal, that's the kind of goal we expect Arsenal to score when the defense is set.
Yep.
So,
yeah. No, I mean they looked great, and it's one of those where you're kind of wanting to temper your expectations, although the expectations are preset and high. So it's not so much that you're, I guess it's not so much that you're tempering them. It's more so that you're just taking each game in stride.
Yeah.
It is a recently promoted squad.
It is
in Leeds, and I mean they don't look completely helpless.
Yeah.
There are other teams that might be more likely to be relegated by the end of the season, but realistically, this is the performance that you should have against that side. Yeah. Although it is refreshing and nice to see that so early, a bit more cohesion. Yeah. Because even against United, again, the 3 points were ugly, but the 3 points are the thing that's more important than the verbosity and sort of flamboyance of your performance.
But that's what I would like to see about Arsenal, especially at the start of this season. If you're gonna be a contender for the season, for the champions itself, you can't afford to miss on these 3 points. These are easy, and this is also a time, especially it's the league itself. It's a high stake game in terms of winning the league itself on a 9-month period. So I want to see that you are building that cohesion because there's a lot more tougher competition around, and the fact that you can rotate in this in these games, you get along and you start seeing what you need, what you don't need, and who you can count on. So I was very pleased with all the performances of everyone, and Timber was he killed it.
He was phenomenal, and I think that
I've been waiting for this kind of performance for him.
Yes, I agree, and then I do think that Madueke looked solid as well.
Yeah.
It was never an issue with him, even at Chelsea, being technical on the ball.
Yeah,
he's very technical on the ball. He has great pace, but it looks like he has a bit more direction in this side, and more importantly, I think that he gets a little bit more of that finishing edge than Martinelli, and that's what Arsenal have been really hurting for. We've said it time and time again. They press well, they get the ball out of the back of the park well, they run through the midfield, but then they sort of hit a final roadblock around the 18-yard box, and it's tough to break through. Those are the guys that you need. That, like Madueke, like Eze, if Eze's the one feeding him the ball into the box,
I can see Eze feeding a lot of these guys, and the technical and the creativity at the front this season will be much more. I think the probability for them to score a lot more goals is high
Yeah.
way up there because there's a lot more creativity. But the one thing I wanted to mention though, it's the fact that the depth itself, like the team has a lot more depth right
I was about
now.
to say that about the defense. It's like
Yeah.
we've beefed up the middle of the park and the attacking front, while not losing anybody
Yeah.
from what has been for the last 3 years one of the two very best at least defenses in the Premier League.
Yeah, especially in seasons where you play a lot more competition, so you
Yeah.
need all the players to rotate around.
Mhm.
And the only sad part, hopefully, it's not the injuries are not really high stakes, meaning not nothing too crazy. The likes of Saka went out injured a little bit.
I saw
Odegaard and
there was a report this morning that Saka looks about 4 weeks.
okay,
So not that like overall you take that
yeah,
because as soon as he went down and clutched his knee, it's like, well,
yeah,
that could be 7 months. We don't know. So all things considered, that's solid, especially
yes,
because you do have a Yeri to come in on that side. Madueke can play on the right. That's where he used to play at Chelsea. So you do have, like you said, they've created that padding for those things to happen because they will happen.
Yeah, it will happen.
And so you have to prepare for those things.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. So right now, I think they're in a good position right now. So no excuses. Just time to,
Get to work.
Get to work.